Hello, everyone, and welcome to Record Club. It is me, Sean, joined again by my wife, Jennie. Jennie, thank you for coming back on Record Club. It's so nice to have you here. I was talking to Jennie about, I always tell her, every time I pick a number, I always text her, this is what it is. And then she's always excited for me every time, whether she knows the album or not.
Supportive.
Well, you are, truly. But this one, oh, hell yeah, Aerosmith. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe you want to come on? And she agreed to come on. I almost had another guest with you, me, and my brother Luke. I did not realize.
Devil's three-way.
That's literally what I would never say about that. But it was, I had this album on the car, and he was in the car with me. He's like, is this Aerosmith Rocks? I'm like, everyone else I know, I mentioned them doing Aerosmith Rocks, and they're like, what's the album? I'm like, no, it's called Rocks.
How dare they?
I didn't know this album. Did you like own this album? Did you have this album?
Of course I did.
Okay. Did you have it on CD? Was it like a CD?
Yes, I'm old.
Well, I mean, I had CDs. We're both the same age. It's fine.
I'm older than him.
By a little bit. By a smidge.
Luke is very young.
Yeah.
To me.
Luke, I didn't realize that my brother loves Aerosmith. I had no idea.
I didn't know either, and I've known Luke for like 20 years, and I've run out of things to talk about, so.
You should bring Aerosmith. I think he saw Aerosmith like a long time ago.
What?
Yeah, I think he did.
Is Luke cooler than I realized?
No.
No.
He's never going to watch this, so absolutely not.
Oh, I love Luke.
I'm joking. I love him too. Okay, so I also was like, so Aerosmith is a band.
Great band.
That there are a couple songs that's like, oh yeah, okay, cool, Aerosmith. But like I never really cared about.
Hello, Alicia Silverstone? You were the perfect age.
We're not talking about Alicia. Head over heels for Alicia Silverstone. Nothing.
You better have been.
And Liv Tyler in those videos. Don't even get me fucking started about 13-year-old me. That was like,
oh God.
I'm telling you, like Alicia Silverstone was like, there's no one more beautiful on the planet than Alicia Silverstone.
That's still true.
I haven't seen her lately. She was in the Babysitters Club.
She was great.
Slow to watch that, but I didn't.
It was good.
There you go. Anyways, so I just never really cared about Aerosmith. I've never listened to this album as a whole. I know, but just one of the things, like I'm never like, oh fuck Aerosmith, but I'm also not like, oh yeah, hell yeah, Aerosmith. I'm right in the middle of like, all right, Aerosmith, okay.
So you didn't care when I got Lennon the Aerosmith onesie when she was a baby?
I did not care. I mean, she looked cute in it.
Shocking news.
But you also got her like a Black Keys one. I was more excited.
That was so cute.
I know. I was more excited about that one than the Aerosmith one. But I know you love Aerosmith. What?
She had an Elvis one and a Beatles.
Yeah, she had. We gave Lynn a whole gamut of musical onesies when she was a baby. But yeah, so I had heard a couple songs on this, but I'm trying to think of like the song I've heard the most from Aerosmith. Sweet Emotion. What was another one that came out?
Dream On.
Dream On is my favorite. That is a song where it's like that. This song fucking rules. I love Dream On. Was that their first album?
No, that was from. Shit, maybe it was. I don't know.
I think it's.
I don't know the order.
You know what? Sorry, I'm quizzing you.
I only looked up this one.
Yeah, that's a great point. Sorry, but
you would know "Living on the Edge" because Weird Al did "Living in the Fridge," and you love Weird Al.
That's Living on the Edge is an Aerosmith song?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just knew that it was like I've heard that song. I just know it was Aerosmith.
Okay.
But like Dream On, it doesn't sound like Steven Tyler until like one part.
Like the screaming?
Yes. But for the most part, I wouldn't know it was Steven Tyler.
Wow. Okay.
Fun fact about Steven Tyler that he is cousins with our longtime friend Tommy Tallarico.
Yeah, his real last name is Tallarico.
Steven Tallarico is his real last name. So
that's right.
Shouts out. I think actually Aerosmith Guitar Hero exists because of Tommy, because he convinced Steven to do it, saying it was a good move. Which it was, because again, as we said a couple weeks ago when Rocco's dad Dick was on, was that like Beatles rock band got me like really into the Beatles. I think that like it opens up a whole new generation of people to enjoy your music. For sure. Same way that I'm sure Aerosmith Guitar Hero did for some people.
Oh, he was so good on the Beatles episode.
Oh, Dick was?
I listened, yeah.
Thanks.
Hard act to follow. And Brian right before that.
Brian?
And Sarah.
Sarah was good.
Ugh.
Well, luckily last time it was just me and I sucked it up. So it was just me bitching about the Clash for a long time.
Oh, well, that's not your fault because you don't care about the Clash, and our daughter was moving out that week. So
I will say that I
bad
feel like
headspace.
you did. When I got home, I was like, yeah, I just like fucking railed on the Clash for 20 minutes. Was that entertaining? I have no idea. And she's like, you just weren't ready for anything new.
No,
You know,
we needed
Emma
comfort.
moved out into the dorms, and we were dealing with that. And there's a lot of emotions in the house.
Sweet emotions.
There's a lot of sweet emotions in the house. So maybe that soured my opinion on the Clash. I'm even realizing it. Maybe you were right.
I think it did because
Probably.
I don't care that much about the Clash. I was never really into them because I don't know their stuff. But the few songs you played, I was like, oh, this is weird. I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, I did. I played. What was that one? I talked about it. It was like something skin, under the skin. Some I don't know. The skin one. Weird. It was weird.
The skin one.
Anyways, it was well, now we're just on a tangent. Sorry, Aerosmith. But I asked the chat or the people in comments, like, let me know if you finished it or not. And more people finished it than I thought. I thought for sure it'd be like we get a couple people. Yeah, I finished it, but most people finished it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I appreciate those of you who were honest and said, yeah, I couldn't do it. I got 6 songs in, I was fucking out. So
I mean, not everyone has to like everything.
no, and that's the whole point
fine.
of this, because like there were some people who were Clash fans, but were also on the same page of, I don't know why this is on the list though. Like, I love the Clash. This album in particular, maybe I wouldn't have put on. You know,
Very long.
it's very long and it just didn't fit. But to make up for that, the record club gods out there gave me this album
That you also don't care about.
before. Yeah, sure, but 34 minutes long. Now we're talking. I've listened to this album a lot of times because it's 34 minutes long, and I figured out that for school drop-offs, I can do the drop-offs, go get you a coffee, and then come back. And by the time I'm parking with your coffee, usually the album is ending. So it's like the perfect length.
Very nice husband. He brings me coffee every morning.
I do, because I love her so much.
Even when we have to get a strict budget to do other things, we never cut my coffee out.
No, that's when we budget for the coffee for her. Sometimes I'll splurge and I'll get coffee for myself.
No, I'm a
But
real bitch about the
usually I'll just make, because I just want black anyways. I don't give a shit, so I'll make it
I
at
want
home.
fake coffee. I want like my white chocolate mochas. I don't drink real coffee. I'm not gonna do that.
Well, to each their own, you know, to
Thank
each their
you.
own. Speaking of that, this album, I'm going to be completely honest and real with everyone here because I feel like, you know, this is a different kind of show where it's just me and then the guests I have on and people I care about. And so I am going to be real that I had a family issue come up with my extended family, and I've been a little out of it and out of sorts lately. And I did not do the amount of research I normally do when it comes to this because of that. And thankfully, Jennie again is going to come through because she helped me with the Shania Twain thing, and now she's going to help me with this because she knows more about this album than I do. So basically, I listened to it a lot of times, and I don't know much about the background of it besides the fact that it was their 4th album, and they were doing a lot of drugs at the time, but they said they're doing that. Like, I think it was honestly the right amount of drugs where it wasn't hindering them. They're able to still, you know, make stuff, but it was, they were on a lot of drugs. If they did any more, it would have been a disaster. But
they did do more after.
they did. But wasn't their their biggest album, I think, is Get a Grip, right? Probably.
I would assume.
But that was later on.
Janie's Got a Gun, Dude Looks Like a Lady. All that
That's on that same album.
I think
that's
so.
got.
I don't
I'm
know.
sure that's on. I'm sure that's
I
on
didn't
here.
research that one.
Fair enough.
It's quizzing me again.
So sorry. So sorry. Okay, so
Prove my love.
yeah. So I don't know what notes you have, Jennie. I don't know what. Do you want to take over? I don't know because I don't have any of the backstory like I usually
I
would
will
have.
take over, and then you
Thank
just
you.
pop in whenever you have something to say.
Thank
and
you. God,
We'll do it the way that I like to do it since I'm in charge now, which
Yeah.
I like to go song by song.
Yes.
Usually I have a ranking system where I give it a full heart if I love it, half heart if it's okay, and then empty heart if I don't like it at all.
Okay.
But I'm not going to rank these because every single one of them gets a full heart.
A full heart.
Every song on this album.
No.
It's perfect.
You
No
know,
notes.
this is,
Oh no.
oh no. I have no problem with a single song on this album.
Ugh, no problem.
I don't know what it is.
I
Honestly
Barry
listen to
Manilow.
it. I listen to it thinking like, find the thing that doesn't make you like love this. Find the thing. And I was like, is it the no guitar solos? No, there's a guitar solo.
There's tons of guitar
Is it the
solos.
drums? No, the drums are fine. I cannot tell you what it is that like.
I'm glad you didn't besmirch Joey Kramer and his
I
drumming.
did not. I just cannot find the thing.
You just don't care about it.
And I don't know why though. And honestly,
Unfeeling monster.
I guess that is truly the case.
Because it is probably from like a blue period of your life again.
I don't think so. I mean, I
It's
don't.
probably when you were like in 6th grade when things were very dark.
No, first off, I didn't realize that the Aerosmith was such a 70s band. Like I always consider them an 80s band or later on.
I was like, probably 90s is when they had bigger
90s
hits. 80s
with the
kinda disappeared.
Armageddon soundtrack,
Oh,
obviously
about that.
huge.
Ben Affleck.
The one song that my dad would play all the time was that song Pink.
I love that song.
Well, so does my dad.
Like in my top 3 favorite
Aerosmith songs.
Oh my
It's a
God.
good song. You bring that to
Greg
my
and I have
dad.
so much in
You should
common.
tell him. But yeah, so I love that song, but I don't get with these songs. Even like okay, so let's go through Back in the Saddle.
Okay, first song on the album.
He's back. That was my Steven Tyler
Perfect.
impression. I pretty much
Flawless.
nailed it.
Yeah.
I pretty much nailed it. What do you got for this one? You said Full Heart.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this song is basically, it's a metaphor for how quickly they got another album out because they put out Toys in the Attic, which was a huge hit in April of 1975.
Okay.
This album was released in May of 1976. So a really fast turnaround to get another album out and start touring. So it was like they're back in the saddle again. Like they're here. They're doing it all over again. Also a nod to Gene Autry.
No.
And it's just kind of about cowboys and sex. Like,
Sex.
yeah, back in the saddle is like fucking. Like different.
Oh, I just thought like I just thought it was like we're another album. Here we come. Back in the saddle.
Well, it's that too, but like
But also the sex.
probably like some reverse cowgirl, just regular stuff.
Saddle.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
But this was the 3rd single from the album. It peaked at number 38 on the Billboard Hot 100. Steven Tyler and Joe Perry wrote this. Joe Perry is one of the guitarists.
Right.
They actually got a real bullwhip in the studio because they wanted to make that like whip cracking sound.
Oh.
But they couldn't get it to work. And so after like hours of trying and injuring and cutting themselves, somebody was like, you have to fucking stop. Like this isn't happening. Like quit it. So they picked up this like huge cord, like this 30-foot cord that was already in the studio and started whipping that around and then used a cap gun to make the like crack sound
Oh.
at the end because they couldn't get it.
I love that, like in today's
work.
world, you just go to the sound library in 2 seconds you have a bullwhip. But they had to recreate with a cable and a cap gun because they couldn't get the actual
It's the
bullwhip.
mid-70s, different
That's
thing.
so wild. That's cool.
This,
There is like a horse in that too, right? Like
yeah, there's all,
there's
and
a
they were
horse.
using like, it was like Monty Python, like coconuts to make like galloping sounds, shit going on.
Hell yeah.
But this song was in 2 movies, featured in 2 movies. One of them was The Fighter. Have you seen that
Oh,
movie?
with Christian Bale?
Yeah,
I haven't
and
seen
Amy
it.
Adams, who's also in The Man of Steel with Kevin Costner. Just
Oh.
if you were wondering.
I was wondering.
It was also in Say Anything. Have you ever seen
Oh.
that? With John Cusack?
I saw like in high school I saw it, but it's been a
I
while.
used to love that.
Yeah.
This song's also covered by Sebastian Bach, who I
Okay.
also love.
Do you? I didn't know you love Sebastian Bach.
Ugh, he's so dreamy.
Is he?
You didn't like Skid Row?
I didn't care about Skid
Do you
Row.
remember the video for I Remember You? He was so cute.
You know,
so cute. In
I
that video. You should
was
watch it.
watching Alicia Silverstone when I didn't see that one.
He was also in Gilmore Girls, which, as you know, I hate Rory Gilmore. So
Worst show.
can't see that happening.
I do. You know what? Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, this all makes sense. Like, Motley Crue is the same to me as Aerosmith. Aerosmith is better, but it's the
Yeah.
same idea to me, and it's just something I've never been really into.
I mean, Vince Neil has covered a lot of Aerosmith songs too
Mhm.
from Motley Crue.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
there's definitely some similarities.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the next song on the album is Last Child.
Right.
That one was written by Steven Tyler and Brad Whitford, who's the guitarist, not the guy from Billy Madison and The West Wing.
Okay. Different one.
Different guy. This was the first single. It peaked at number 21. This is my favorite song on this album. Well, tied with Nobody's Fault. Those are my two favorites.
Interesting, because riding in the car with Luke, he said he skips this one.
That son of a bitch.
He said
Luke
he loves this
cool.
album, but he skips this song.
This is why the three of us would never get together.
Jesus Christ, Jenny. I told Luke, I was like, I think Jenny loves this song.
Why would you skip this one?
He did. He didn't like it.
God damn, Luke. This one has more of a bluesy vibe, which I love. Apparently,
my
Luke
brother does
hates.
not. Mm-hmm.
He's too cool for the blues, I guess.
Yeah.
The song's basically about feeling like an outsider. Like you just, you never feel like you really fit anywhere. They were trying to express like the struggles they faced as musicians, where they're like trying to find their place, and they did like to have more of a bluesy rock vibe, but it didn't sell as well as like a pop rock did. So they were trying to be commercially successful, but also do what they want to do. So they were trying to like appeal to mainstream audiences, but also like make the kind of music they want to make. So
yeah, I mean I love the story behind that, and
I love this song.
I had no problem with it. Again, no problem with any of these songs. I have no problem.
Also, a fun fact that I discovered when I was researching this song was that someone said, and I don't know if this is true because I just read it on the internet. So that doesn't mean it's true.
I will say,
but
again, with this show, most things we say are just things that we read on the internet.
I believe this, but the band, when they would be on tour, when they knew they were going to be home in a few weeks, they would refrain from having sex with all the groupies, with the exception of oral sex. They still allowed that because they didn't want to bring home a social disease to their wives and girlfriends. Isn't that so fucking thoughtful?
Thoughtful.
Right? Those
what?
guys.
Not only are they talented musicians, they're gentlemen as well.
I know. That is just so darling.
Only oral sex.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it. You got to draw the line somewhere.
Somewhere.
We don't have that same agreement, though, when you're on the road.
we don't. You know, when I'm on the road, Jenny, we don't have that agreement. No. Okay, Rats in the Cellar.
This song was inspired by Fleetwood Mac.
Really?
Actually, their song called Searching for Madge, which I don't know.
Searching for Madge.
But I'm going to listen to it later.
Yeah, I don't know.
Time. We've been really busy this week.
It's been a week.
Fucked up week.
It's been a fucked up week.
This one was written by Steven Tyler and Joe Perry again. Let's see. Oh, Steven Tyler had said that this song was basically a reflection of the chaos and internal struggles that they were facing during these years. It's a lot about overcoming like personal demons and confronting your own darkness, like self-destruction, addiction, and like the dangers of the pursuit of pleasure. The original title of the song was Tit for Tat.
Oh, but was it not appropriate? Why not?
I think they just didn't
Tit for Tat's
like
fine.
it as much. And then I did read something that said this song was partially inspired by the death of their drug dealer, the band's drug dealer.
Oh, man. How'd he die? Probably overdose.
I didn't look into that.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah. Well, if it's anything like when we watched 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, they said you can sell the drugs, but don't do the drugs because we're not one of them, is what they said. Something like
That's
that.
Bleak. And
Something like that.
Very rude.
Well, no, I mean, I get that too, where it's like, yeah,
It's
we're
like
going to sell
they're
this.
looking down on your entire customer base.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Dangerous
That's
path.
what they did in that. Anyways, 50 Cent's also in this book, in case you're wondering. We're going to get to that.
I mean, I like 50 Cent.
Me too.
Vitamin water.
Next, we got Combination.
All right. Joe Perry wrote that one, and it was the first time he had a shared lead vocal. Steven Tyler is the lead vocal on all the other songs on the album.
Yeah.
But he says the song is about heroin, cocaine, and me.
Oh.
This song is kind of like explaining the dangers of like becoming successful and having enough money to afford the better things in life, like luxury clothing and expensive things, and then also as many drugs as you want. Like,
Yeah.
you can have anything you want, and when you're a drug addict, that's very dangerous.
I do feel like there are a lot of bands, especially because a lot of times, like people just, they make it. Their band makes it, and they came from maybe a bad background. They weren't well off, and now they have infinite everything. And
they don't give you like financial counseling with that.
No. And that's the thing where it's like, they talk about it in sports too, where like someone gets drafted, now all of a sudden they just got millions of dollars, and it's like, well, what now? What? But they have everything at their disposal. It's like as many women, drugs, everything as they want, and that is it's too much power. It's too much temptation
You
for some
just need to have
people.
good people advising you.
Right.
People that you trust that care about your best interest.
Right. Which is hard to find because you feel like we're going to want some of the money that you just got.
Probably will.
It's tough stuff.
But Joe Perry's mom was so upset about his drug use and his emaciated body that she literally moved to another state so she wouldn't have to see him anymore because she felt too sad
Oh, wow.
by how like withered away
That's
he was.
crazy.
There's even a line in the song that's like walking on Gucci, like wearing my Yves like Saint Laurent, but it's like it barely stays on my body because it's so gaunt or something.
Oh,
like that.
shit.
Like he's talking about like I'm doing so many drugs, like I'm wasting away, I'm dying. And
Whoa.
this is the only song in the whole album that Steven Tyler didn't write on. Joe Perry's the only writer on this.
Interesting.
So yeah,
That is interesting.
it's a great song, but it's also sad.
It is sad. Okay, so next we have the song I had heard probably the most on this album. Before this was Sick as a Dog.
This is the one you'd heard the most?
Yes.
Huh, that's interesting.
I heard this the most. I think maybe my dad put this song too or something, but I've heard this song many times.
Okay, well, this one was written by Steven Tyler and Tom Hamilton, who is their bass guitarist normally, except for on this song, because he wrote it, they let him play lead guitar. But
Okay.
they did a live recording in the studio, and there's a guitar solo at the end that he's not really qualified to do. So during the recording, he has to pass off his guitar to Joe Perry to do the solo. But Joe Perry's playing the bass on this song, so he passes off the bass to Steven Tyler, who plays it for the rest of the song so that Joe Perry
What?
can do this solo. But they said, like, if you listen to the recording, you can't hear it. Like, it's seamless. They just, like,
They're-
they're just
They're
trading instruments
trading during the
during the recording.
I honestly did not know that Steven Tyler could play bass.
He can play a ton of instruments.
Can he?
Yeah.
I thought he was just a
keyboards all the time.
He does? Oh, see, I don't know anything about Aerosmith. I didn't realize that
He
Steven.
loves to add, like, piano stuff into the power ballads. That's
'Cause he
like
can-
his thing.
I didn't realize that. I didn't
He's very
realize this.
talented.
I thought he was just like the frontman singer guy. I didn't realize he was like playing.
Stylish and talented, and he can write.
And you can write.
He's
Huh.
amazing.
You're selling me a little bit more Aerosmith, Jenny.
know.
You're doing it.
But when they do this one in concert, everyone just plays their normal instruments the whole time.
They
don't
should trade.
Try the
They should pass it
switching
off.
thing.
Yeah. Are they still touring? Do you know?
I don't believe so. But Steven Tyler recently went back into rehab.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
I mean,
realize
that's
that.
just a lifelong struggle.
Yeah.
But good for him for
Yeah.
trying it. This song's also weird because I can't figure out what the meaning of it is. Like, I read a bunch of different theories. Like, some people are saying, oh, he's in love with this girl who is very ugly. Because it does seem like the words are saying, like, you're hideous. Because, like, there's one part where it says, like, you'd turn a young man's face to stone. So it's like, damn, what the fuck?
Well, Medusa did that, but I thought she was like beautiful.
I think she just had snakes on her head.
Oh, she had the snakes.
I don't know if she was pretty or not.
No, I'm thinking of Cleopatra. All right, take it back. That's the fuck I'm talking about.
Then someone else's theory on this song is that it's about him trying to convince someone to get an abortion, which is interesting because, like, in the very first verse, he says, like, I just got to talk to you. Please keep your head out of the loo. Like, she's throwing up. But then other people were saying that's because she's a drug addict.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
But it is a good song.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody's fault.
Okay. I love this song. This is tied for my favorite.
Okay.
I bet Luke doesn't skip this one.
Probably not.
Also written by Steven Tyler and Brad Whitford. This song, it was inspired by the band's collective fear of earthquakes, which is interesting.
Interesting. Earthquakes.
Because there was a big earthquake in San Francisco in the early 70s. Then there was a bigger earthquake in Nicaragua, and it killed like 1,000 people. Like, a lot of people died. It was very sad.
Dang.
And then right after that, there was reports that there was a fault line in New Jersey that ran like under a nuclear power plant.
Oh.
And it really scared
that would be
the
a
band.
problem.
They like had like a real fear that there was going to be an earthquake.
and it's
then,
kind of a nuclear,
Yeah, like a-
Chernobyl style situation.
right. So
Oh, wow.
the song is called Nobody's Fault, and they're referring to like
Oh.
both the fault line
And
and the idea that it's our fault, that like civilization is just ignoring the threat of these earthquakes, and people
Yeah.
are stupid.
I mean, that is the thing too, where it's like, you know, with a natural disaster, especially in people who do die, a lot of times, like, yeah, it's nobody's fault. It's just fucking happened. You know, like that is like a hard thing
yeah,
to
but they
to
were
accept.
very freaked out.
Interesting.
But this is kind of like more of a heavy metal song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that. I could see that.
So I like this one. Joey Kramer said that this song features some of the best drumming he's ever done.
Oh.
and Slash, and also James Hetfield love this song. Like, it's one
Oh.
of their favorite Aerosmith songs. And Kurt Cobain, remember his journals came out.
I do. I had this is the one note I had, so please go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
and
go
he
ahead.
mentioned this
He
song
mentioned this song and this
is
album.
one of his favorite songs.
Yeah, he said he also loves this album in his journals,
Yes.
which again we should have never seen. I'm on that. We shouldn't have seen those journals.
This is like very Diary of Anne Frank to me, where I'm like,
Oh,
Diary of Anne Frank is so like beautiful and touching and monumental, but I'm like, should I have read that? I don't know. It was like
I don't know.
a really great perspective to have, but also was a young girl's personal thoughts and
I
feelings.
know. I know.
Poor Anne.
I know. And Kurt. All right,
Kurt.
we're gonna get the let out.
All right, that was written by Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. This song's just like more of an upbeat song. It makes you want to dance. It's good. I think it's about like going out to like a club or somewhere where you can dance and then picking someone up and like having sex with them. I'm pretty sure that's what the song's about.
I mean, that's what they would do, so that does make sense.
Yeah, but I read that Steven Tyler really wanted to get an opera singer to
Oh.
double his voice in the like no parts.
Really?
So they went to like the Metropolitan Opera and grabbed some unknown. And we're like, hey, come back to the studio. We're going to have you like chime in on these parts. But he could never figure out when to come in because rock and opera, they're just not the same.
Right.
So they had him in the studio all night and he like blew his voice out.
Oh.
And they're like, we are pretty sure we traumatized him and it didn't work out.
And
So.
it was for nothing. You didn't make the cut, and also you have no voice anymore. Goodbye.
So that was tough, but an interesting fact.
That is a very interesting fact. Okay, Lick and a Promise.
Okay. This one was written by Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. Again, this one's basically about playing for and winning over an audience. So in this one, they wanted it to sound like they were in like a big stadium and people were cheering for them.
Yes, which they definitely had that effect. I got that.
Yeah, but how they did it was they just brought 6 people in that were just at the studio while they were recording, which included like their drug dealers and a couple of assistants.
Okay.
And they just had them like cheer and like yell things out, and then they like doubled it and then repeated it. Like they just took that clip and they like boosted it until it sounded like a full arena.
Because when I heard it, I thought, like, oh, did they film this one like at like a live show? Is this like a live song?
Yeah, they wanted it to sound like a live show.
Well, they got me. They fooled me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool.
And then the last song, the song I've heard the second most on this album is this one, Home Tonight.
Yes. Okay, this one was written by Steven Tyler by himself. This was the second single released for this album, and it only made it to number 71 on the charts. Even though
Interesting.
I love it.
It's a good song. I do like this song. Interesting they would choose this to be the second single, though. I mean, it's a good song, but it's slower.
It's the only power ballad on this.
It's a power ballad.
But they always put one. They always have one.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I had a fact for you.
Oh, please. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Wow. This song was used in a video game.
Was it?
Yes. Dead or Alive 3. Do you know what that is?
It's a game that I think is the sexy volleyball game that Rocco likes.
I did not know what this game
I'm pretty sure, again, I could be wrong, but I think Dead or Alive is the volleyball game.
Okay.
You wouldn't think that with Dead or Alive.
It doesn't sound like a volleyball game.
What is...
Sounds like a zombie game. You know I hate zombies.
I think there's a spin-off. You know what? I'll look it up after this.
You're
all screaming at your monitor right now. You all know the situation.
Well,
I thought it was a volleyball one.
Did you all know that they never once played this song on the Rocks tour?
Why not?
And they have never played it in any show since then?
So they never played this live?
Well, sometimes Steven Tyler plays a little snippet of this song as the intro to Dream On.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I could see that going in. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's fun. Huh.
Super fun.
You fucking killed it.
Thanks.
Jennie, okay. I want, again, behind the scenes that before we went live, I was like, I don't know how we're going to do this. And then my wife said to me, she's like, I got you. You're so fucking great. You're so great.
Thanks.
Thank you. You did such a great job. Thank you so much for coming in and saving me this week.
No problem.
What I do know, a couple things about this album really quick, is that, where would I have my little notes? Rolling Stone, in 2003, this album was ranked as 176. That's It's way higher.
And it stayed there in the 2012 re-rankings too.
So then it got slammed down to 366. Yeah.
That was a tough drop. But at least it stayed on the list.
Yeah.
Do you know why they named the album Rocks?
I don't.
Joe Perry says it was because diamonds are called rocks.
Okay.
And diamonds are like literally the hardest thing on earth.
Right.
And he wanted this to be like their hardest rocking record imaginable. And then the cover has 5 diamonds on it, and that's one for each of them.
Those are diamonds.
Yeah.
I thought they were like balls or something hanging from like one of those, like, those like things you drop and they like one goes and the other.
Oh, yeah.
That looks exact
like
to
people
me.
with those on their desk.
Yeah, I guess I never really actually looked at it. Interesting. Well, let's see what our friends at Rolling Stone say.
Okay.
Did you see that? You watched the one with me and Dick. That one. What was the word I couldn't say? That was like an obvious word, like subdue or something like that.
Segway.
That was segue.
Yeah. That one is confusing.
For
it
some reason,
like
I thought Segway we spelled like the Segway thing you ride.
Right. It should be.
It's not.
They
I
did it
didn't
to
realize that
upset
they changed that.
That wasn't your fault.
Nah, a little
That was
bit.
their fault.
Yeah, I felt a little silly on that one.
At least Dick knew.
Thank God. Okay. The Bad Boys from Boston perfected their 70s guitar raunch on rocks. It's the musical equivalent of getting run over by a muscle car. I don't know about that. I don't know. Steven Tyler and Joe Perry sound like American heirs to the Mick and Keith tradition with the filthy riffs of Lick and Promise and Back in the Saddle. They hit a surprise peak with Sick as a Dog, a fusion of the Byrds, James Brown funk, and 60s girl group harmonies.
Oh, I like that.
Me too. Okay.
Especially because the song is a 60s girl group. Does that like fit in?
It does. Yeah, that is that. And we'll go, what a segue that you just segue.
Yeah.
Oh, this episode is like my favorite one. So
We're doing
good.
Great. Amazing.
We're killing it. Let's see if we can take it on home. We got Da Do Ron Ron by the Crystals. My whole life I thought it was the Do Run Run.
Me too.
Okay.
I also thought it was the Do Run Run. Not even.
Not
like
I also
Do
thought
Run Run.
I thought it was the Do Run Run.
Also,
But it's not.
I didn't know it was 2 with 2 O's on the do.
Yeah. Interesting. What I learned, and again, I'm sure you have done more this week, but I had no idea that Phil Spector was a part of this at all.
Yes.
Which is, okay, so it came out in 1963. I guess I didn't realize how long Phil Spector was doing shit.
He's
I thought
old.
I knew he's old, but I thought he was like, again, like
didn't seem like a young man.
70s stuff. I didn't realize he was like in the 60s producing this. Like, I guess I didn't.
He's been an evil little munchkin haunting around forever.
Yeah. Well, on the car ride over here, Jennie was telling me some stuff, and she even offered to me. She's like, "Hey, you can be the one to tell me." I insist.
I was gonna let you take credit.
She was going to take credit. This week I can't do it. It's all her this week. Please tell me what you told. Tell them what you told me because it was interesting.
Oh, the thing about Lala?
Yeah.
Okay. So the lead vocalist on this song, her name's Lala Brooks. She recorded this when she was 15 years old because she took over for the other lead singer who got pregnant. So they were like, bye, get out.
That's rough.
Lala came in, took over, and then ended up just being the lead singer. So
that's crazy.
pretty impressive.
15.
15.
I didn't know that.
She's really, really good.
I don't know any other songs about the Crystals.
Oh, the And Then He Kissed Me song.
I would have you sing it, but that'd be fucked up. But I don't know.
It's in like every movie you've ever seen.
Mm.
You would know it. I'll play it for you later. You'll know it.
Okay.
This song is in movies. This one peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sean Cassidy recorded it in 1977, and it went to number 1.
Whoa.
And it was up there for like 22 weeks or some like long ass time because Sean Cassidy was like
The shit.
the thing. Like people were like obsessed in love with him.
That he was in the Partridge Family?
Yeah.
I used to love that show.
And
Did
his
you watch
brother
that show?
too. No.
You didn't watch the Partridge Family?
No, sorry.
I watched that in the Brady Bunch. I don't know why.
I watched the Brady Bunch.
Hmm.
You love those old shows where they have like shitty song and dance numbers.
I do. Why?
That's your comfort food.
It is.
You don't like Shania Twain, but you
I-
like that shit.
I mean, I haven't seen the Partridge Family since I was a kid, but it used to be on like Nick at Night.
I mean, everyone in the Partridge Family's probably lovely. Susan Day's gorgeous.
That
could
I
see
was
why you loved her.
also.
Who's that, Lori?
Alicia Silverstone was, but Susan Day in the Partridge Family wasn't far behind. Yeah. Okay.
So the lyrics don't really mean anything like those ones.
Mhm.
That was just filler that they kept in because they didn't really want it to distract from like the story of the song. Just like, the boy and girl meeting and falling in love. So that's just kind of like just filler sound.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to mean anything.
What do you like? I mean, like this is a classic song. Again, this song be on the list. Like, okay, like
I love this song.
I'm happy it's on the list. It's a great song.
I know every word.
It's a song that I don't actually like. I hear you go, oh yeah, that song. Like it's not like it's like gotta put on the crystals, guys. Where's the fucking crystals? Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Well, if you were listening to K Earth 101, it would have come on all the time.
K Earth One, is that a LA
that was
station?
The oldies station
In LA?
Yes, in LA. You guys didn't have that here? Didn't we already go over this?
The oldie station?
Maybe we haven't talked about this.
Maybe we did.
I just thought it was like super famous.
I'm sure it is. But K Rock was the one that everyone knows.
K Rock's not oldies though.
No, but that's the LA station everyone knows though. Is K Rock.
Okay.
But I didn't know the other one. Okay, so when it comes to giving pieces of vinyl, which again is so subjective and depends on, as we talked about earlier with Emma going off to college, maybe it depends on your mood and what's going on this week or the week that you listen to it. I don't know.
Oh no, are you going to give it a 0?
I would absolutely not give it. I did have a terrible week. I have no issue, as I said, with this. It's just there, but it just doesn't it doesn't get inside me. It just is. I'm like Teflon. It can't get into me.
It has to get inside you?
Yeah, I don't know. You, with your research and backstory, sold me. I'm gonna give it a half piece of vinyl more.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go up to a 3.
Up to
a 3. It was right in the middle because again.
You do this every time. You invite me on here to shit on everything I love.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Came here, save your ass.
You did.
Give you all my cool information.
It is dope information. I loved it. You did a
Couldn't
great.
have been doper.
It could have been. It's the dopest.
You bitch.
I know.
Fine. I said not everyone has to like the same things. I guess I didn't mean it when it's you and me.
Okay. Well, we have to like the same things, but you guys can not like it if you want. But yeah, what are you gonna give it, Jenny?
I give it a 5.
Okay.
I love this. Is a perfect album to me. I love every song, every moment, every scream, every guitar riff.
That's
all
you know
of
what
it. Every single thing.
That is, and I love that. And but also, again, music, as I said, is so everyone gets their own stuff out of it. My brother, I think, would give it a 5 as well.
Well, he skips a song, so he shouldn't.
I didn't know that about him. I didn't know he loved Aerosmith. How did that happen?
Couldn't begin to guess.
I don't know.
It's like all I know is that he likes Evanescence. So.
Does he like Evanescence?
Isn't that the concert he went to? Where
I've gone to concerts of the
they went to the concert and then they said that the guitarist had fucked them over or something. So they just said, we're going to do the whole concert with no guitar. And then he said, it turns out it's not good without the guitar.
I don't think, it wouldn't be good with, as we said. It wouldn't be good with. But that's our opinion.
Sorry.
And when we get Evanescence, maybe I'll get my brother on.
I'm sure they have a couple songs I like. I just can't think of any.
Wake Me Up Inside. You like that song?
It's fine.
I don't like it. I never liked it.
It didn't get inside you.
It didn't get.
It didn't wake
like
you up inside.
This. It just repelled right off me. Didn't do anything for me. Okay. Well, excuse me, Jenny. So sorry. Okay. We got a little bag here.
I was wondering what you're doing.
Okay. Getting fresh.
Should have worn shorts.
If you did we'll do the honors, please.
Okay.
For me.
I'm afraid I'm going to get the 300s like I always do.
I mean, I can't
be.
I've been on. It's probably gonna be the 300s.
294.
Okay, so we're out of the 300s.
I did it.
You did it. Okay, let's see what.
Fingers crossed, Madonna.
294. Let's see, come right back on.
Everyone's like, please don't. That's enough.
I mean, maybe they said that. I can't imagine. I think you're so great. Okay, so 294. So I'm leaving. By the time you watch this, I will be on an airplane going to Seattle. But I'm going to be back in time to record, so I don't think I'll miss a week. I think we're good. But what am I going to be listening to on the airplane going to Seattle? Jenny, my wife.
Yes.
This is a good one for me.
What is it?
We got Weezer Blue Album.
Oh my God.
294.
Special guest Sawyer.
Special Sawyer, Lennon, Rocco. We'll get everyone on.
You got to get Rocco. He was just saying he's never been on.
This is a perfect opportunity. Okay.
That's a good one.
I'm really excited, and I have to do no research because I listened The girls, my girls, fucking love this album, and we listen to it at least 4 times a week. So this is not gonna be an issue for me. Okay, 294. Good pick.
Lennon can play those on the drums.
Yeah, Lennon has been learning. What songs have you been learning on the drums? Undone and Say It Ain't So.
Probably.
I think is yeah. She's learning that on drums. Okay, how exciting.
Also, this is the record that I was dusting in our room when I got the concussion.
That's true.
You were telling that story today.
I was telling the story today that Jennie was dusting. I have this record hanging on my wall in our bedroom, and she was dusting it.
I was standing on the bed to
Standing on the bed, and then I'll tell the whole story that she found a cup of coffee on my dresser, which I forgot about, and it was full of mold. I'm gross.
Disgusting.
And then she grabbed it and then turned it around, and the fan hit her in the head, and she got a concussion and cut her head, and it's a whole fucking thing because of this album. There's some more backstory about
because of this album and Sean's disgusting old coffee cup.
That was just I have never done that before or since, I'm sure. And the song is Velvet Underground, Sweet Jane, which I don't think.
Yes.
You know that song?
Yes.
I don't think I do.
Well, you're in for a treat. That's
I don't think I do. All right. Everyone, go listen to Weezer Blue Album and Velvet Underground, Sweet Jane. And I cannot truly thank you enough, Jennie, for stepping through and helping me not only with this record club, but just in general. She's been there a lot for me this week, and she will continue to be there for me. And love her, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week on Record Club. Bye. Goodbye.